Traveling poor in 2025. Let's see. Let's just see, bro.
Is there anything more disgusting than the pores? Oh, if you can't afford deodorant, then you shouldn't be allowed outside. If you want to live in society, then act like it! But roasting them from my air-conditioned apartment felt unearned, so I decided to travel from Miami to Austin in the cheapest way possible in order to see how poor people eat, sleep, and breed.
Austin does have a huge homeless population, bro. I can't even lie. When I was there, it's like, it'll be the middle of the day, bro. Because in cities where they're not necessarily as heavily populated, you'll be outside in the daytime and it's a big ass city, but there'll be nobody outside but homeless people, bro. It's almost like, it reminds me of New York during COVID. So it's just kind of crazy. You'll see mainly homeless people outside, especially if like there's no nightlife going on. Like, it's crazy.
First, I need to get to the airport, so I open up Uber and oh look, a cheaper shared option.
Nice.
Can't wait to meet my first deplorable. And fellas, it did not disappoint. As soon as I opened the door, there was a girl with "please don't look at me" vibes. I'm telling you, the body language on this chick, someone hurt her. And it wasn't just her credit score that took a hit. But I wasn't going to add to her trauma mixtape, so I left her alone. That wasn't until we arrived at the airport. I go to help take her luggage out of the trunk when I know she has a designer suitcase.
Ooh.
I said, damn girl, your bag says YSL, yet you're stuck in rideshare hell. Anyway, one dirty look later and I head into the airport. Now
You gotta cut costs in certain areas, bro. Thanks, Sparky, for taking my last 2 suggestions. Nah, bro, thank you for the good suggestions, bro. Sometimes I boot up and I don't be knowing what to react to. This is probably better than what I had, bro, so I appreciate it. If you're, also, you should join the Discord, so you could drop suggestions in there, so, like, I'll have them set up before the stream even starts, you know, if I fuck with them. So you should join that Discord if you're not in there already.
the cheapest flight I could get was on Southwest. For those who haven't flown Southwest before, they do things a little differently. Instead of picking your seat prior to boarding, you pick it when you board. And if that seems like a bad idea, that's because it is.
Terrible.
I like to think I'm a civilized person, but if there's an empty seat next to me, then I'm going full Pop-Tart. Just trying to bite my lower neck like, See, on Spirit Airlines, you're a monster coming in, but Southwest makes you a monster. It starts before you even get on the plane. In the terminal, there are poles with numbers on them associated with your ticket that you're supposed to stand by, but ain't no one checking. So if they're calling Group B, then you're B1. If a passenger asks to see your phone, then start grunting. And if anyone tries to cut you, flare those elbows. Take up as much room as you can. The more unhinged you seem, the less likely someone will confront you. Then as you're boarding the plane, start looking for the hottest woman you can find. Because either one, she'll be into you, which is great, or two, she'll be disgusted by you, which is also great. You're either getting a future blowy or a free armrest. It's a win-win either way. Now, if there's no hotties, then just find a seat with an empty one next to it. From here, you have two options. You can either go the civilized liar route and place your luggage on the seat saying, "My wife's coming," or go full-on animal. I'm talking noises, drool, and erratic movements. You want people to look at you and say, "No,
That's fucked.
no." On this flight, I leaned.
It's crazy because I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where I thought about doing shit like this, bro, but I just never actually had the indecency to do it, bro. Like, it's crazy. This is crazy. This shit is sounding worse than Spirit, bro, and I hated Spirit. I fucking hated Spirit. United Airline, United Best Airline. I never flew. Fuck, my nigga. I gotta get off soon, bro. This shit bad. I never flew United, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I hate Southwest. I could see why, bro. Fuck. Fucking free for all when you get on the ship. Are you bored, bro? That's terrible. I've done the luggage trick just once. See, whatever you gotta do, bro. Cause some niggas, bro, be annoying. Bro, when I went to Amsterdam, I was sitting next to fine shit. Oh yeah, I remember you told me, bro.
Heavy into disgust. Anytime someone used an overhead near me, I just pick my nose and make direct eye contact. They try to challenge me and I'm wiping it right on their seat. Don't test me, Carol. I want my elbow room. Luckily, my strat works and I'm blessed with horizontal freedom. Now, what was the plane like? Trash! Total trash! No USB, no monitor, and like I mentioned earlier, no human decency. Person in front of me kept coughing, not even trying to cover their mouth. You're trying to get a seat, I get it, but the doors are closed. So how about you put on a mask before I donkey punch you? Can't cough if you're unconscious, Debbie. Flight attendants weren't helping either. All they did was walk the aisle and spray some disinfectant. Like, at least spray the face. Bad kitty. But instead, the crew decided to ignore the biohazard and move on to the safety briefing. You know, where they asked the dumbest question possible. Are you able to help out during an emergency? What kind of emergency? Main door won't open.
Bro, I hate this shit. And then the thing is, they refuse to move on if you don't say yes. Like, my nigga, bro, I remember I had my headphones on, bro. I was probably listening to, like, fucking, Green Day or something, bro. Bro, Tell me why the bitch, she's talking, bro. Mind you, I'm hearing her. I'm like, yep, just nodding, whatever. She's like, oh, are you able to da-da-da-da in case of any emergency? I'm like, yeah, because, you know, if you're on the door closest to the whatchamacallit, the emergency exit, you have to agree to that shit, right? I'm just nodding my head. She's like, excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to verbally tell me that you're gonna do. I'm like, yes. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, my nigga. Like, you heard me say yes. I get it's just protocol, but like, bro, like shit like that is just so fucking annoying, bro. So fucking annoying. I nodded twice and the bitch said I had to say, yeah, bro, like, nigga, like, what you mean, bro? What if I'm non-verbal? You would've kicked me off the plane? Bro, my throat was cooked. I took British Airways and Air France before. I ain't gonna lie, nigga, the only airlines I've been on is Delta, American, and fucking JetBlue. Spirit. Only time I flew outside of the country was to go to St. Lucia. Oh my god. No, this would be a good video. Problems with traveling or being a... That's a good video, Buzzy. I'm not gonna lie. I might look into that. Just got into the Discord. Welcome! It's dead, but at least you get to recommend videos, man. Appreciate ya. But I only flew United on Air France my whole life. Ooh, man,
open and I gotta activate the fun slide, then sure. We crash land in the middle of the Atlantic, then no. You know what's better than helping out your fellow man? Not dying! Only first class seats are now on that life raft, and I am not waiting in line. Anyway, we begin to get towed onto the runway when I could hear someone getting real nervous. So I said, wait, what was that noise? Panic is the ultimate in-flight entertainment. Then after a bit, we reach cruising altitude and they begin to hand out drinks. Now most airlines bring a beverage cart down the aisle, but instead Southwest would take your order, then come back with your drink, which wouldn't have bothered me if they weren't holding my cup by the rim. Oh, you want some orange juice?
Oh god, bro, this is another thing I hate, bro. Oh my god. Planes are dirty. You're a server, your hands are definitely dirty. Not grab my cup by the fucking... Like, what's so hard about... Here you go, sir. Or here you go, sir. Or here you go, sir. Or here you go, sir. Here you go. Fucking bitch ass nigga, bro. I fucking hate when people do shit like that, bro. So gross. Especially when you're on an airplane, so you know how unsanitary airplanes are, bro.
Well, how about a little Derek with that? My germs. Fast forward a few hours later and we land in Austin. I hopped in another shared Uber, except this one had a guy in it who was trying his hardest to spit game at me. Now, I'm a flirt, but I'm not a tease. So I say, hey man, I feel like you're trying to shoot your shot right now, but just want to let you know that I'm straight. And he replied with the classic, well, have you ever tried it? I said, bro, I can't stick a hot dog more than 2 inches in my mouth without gagging. I eat a lot of protein, so my back door is real stinky. And my biggest turnoff is the smell of poop. So no, I haven't tried it. Anyway, 10 awkward minutes.
A lot of conversation wouldn't even get that far, bro. With me. That nigga gonna have to get elbowed in his jaw, my nigga. Like, come on, bro. Because at this point, bro, and like, now you're not taking my verbal inflections, or you're not reading context clues, bro. Like, at this point, you just asking to get an elbow to the jaw, bro. And I got some sharp ass elbows too, my nigga. Like, what the fuck are you still talking? Because now at that point, you think I'm a bitch, bro. Come on, context clues, bro. Some niggas never got hit before, and it shows. I want to work part job at an airline so I can get free flight tickets whenever I travel. That's not bad. I know people that work at airports. They say it's actually pretty solid. But fuck this, bro. I'm gonna get a guaranteed seat, though. Nah, yeah, I also hear that shit, too. Niggas be like, buddy pass, buddy pass, buddy pass. It'd be a lot of shit with that, too.
Later, and we arrive at my hotel, the La Quinta Inn. Immediately, I noticed a fire truck outside, which is always a great sign when you're looking to sleep. Now, before I tell you how trashy the hotel was, do you want to guess how much it was a night? $53. $53 a night! I didn't know there was anything under 100, so I knew it was going to be bad, but like a Kanye interview, it just kept getting worse. So I went inside and was greeted by a lady with neck tattoos. She tells me, you're lucky, they were about to shut the place down. I said, what do you mean shut down? She said there was a small fire a few hours earlier in someone's room, but it's all right now. Anyway, here are your keys and check.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. There is nothing worse than arriving at a location and realizing that the hotel is ass, or the Airbnb is ass, or like whatever your living situation is about to be is ass, bro. That shit'll make you feel like you just want to go back home. Like, vacation canceled. because the thing is, even if you are able to get out, because I know some people, you know, they got money, they just like, yeah, I'll just go to another hotel. Let's say you arrive late, check-in times are at times where, like, for some reason, it's never the time where you land. So it's always like, you gotta wait till the morning. You always have to spend at least one night in a shitty situation before you move on to a better one. Or worse, you got no fucking money and you gotta stay sleeping with the roaches. Which, thank God, it never happened to me yet, but it almost got to that point a few times simply because of the people that I was with. Not having money. Not any of my friends, not anyone that I fuck with. So, feel me, if you watching the stream and it, but it get, bro, traveling can get bad, bro. If y'all know, like, if y'all niggas ain't travel yet, bro, like, y'all gotta be very intentional about who y'all travel with, the shit that y'all do. Just do some fucking research. Like, it's pertinent, bro. You guys, like, ooh, it could get bad.
Checkout's at 11. Right. So I head up to my room, but there's caution tape outside of it. I'm thinking, did this bitch give me ground zero? So I go back downstairs and Miss Damage says not to worry about it. I said, this feels like something I should definitely be worried about. She says, all right, well, if you want, we have a handicap room still available. I said, all right, I'll take that one. So I go to the Pop-Tart room, and the first thing I noticed were toenail clippings in the corner. They weren't clean cuts either.
I couldn't sleep that night. That's the other thing, bro. I can't sleep in dirty environments, bro. I will stay up until it's time to check into the hotel, bro. I can't. If I'm not comfortable, clean, and calm, bro, I can't sleep, bro. I can't catch Z's. It's terrible. Bro, the amount of times I slept overnight at the airport just because I'm not 21 kills me. Ooh, yeah, that's another thing. You got to be 21 to check into certain airports. I mean, certain hotels. Yeah, that's another issue I had to deal with one time. But it was LA, so you'll find someone that'll take you, but it can get like that for sure.
Chewing. And that pretty much set the tone. Everywhere you looked was another OSHA violation. Bathroom light was melting, paper cups had mold on them, and there was a small Filipino girl under the bed saying, "You didn't see me." It was a disaster.
That's tough. That is tough. They tried to advertise her as an amenity, my nigga. That's a human rights violation right there. And then the thing is, too, like, when you step into a dirty room, I don't know if it's just me, I get this weird feeling in my throat. It's like I feel like I'm breathing in dust. I can feel it. I know when I'm not in a clean environment. Like, I'll just start coughing. Like, I feel sick. It's like you don't breathe the same. And then immediately when I get that feeling, I start inspecting. Dust all on top of the paintings. Bathtub. Stains, all types of shit, bro. Random hairs, bro. Oh my god, bro. That's like my worst fear, bro. Traveling and being in a dirty environment, I hate that shit. One time when I moved to America, we went to Days Inn in Georgia, and the room next to us got raided by cops the first night. Oh yeah, they were sneaking in narcotics for sure. I hate dirty rooms. Hate it. Absolutely, bro. I hate when I get to the airport early and they delay my flight for another hour or two. Nah, that's a fact, bro. Try, my nigga, bro. It was DreamCon 2023, bro. I had a straight flight to Texas, Austin, Texas. Hours before the flight, like literally, you'd have to be up at like 12 in the morning to even catch this. They cancel the flight and they say, we have other flights that you could hop on. I had to hop on a flight with layaway in 3 different states just to get to Texas. We were outside for probably like 12 hours, bro, traveling. And on top of that, those flights were getting delayed. Worst shit ever, bro. Worst shit ever. Because I just want, I wish there were time skips in airports, bro. It's like, oh, God. Have y'all ever lost your luggage? No, thank God. And I pray to God that I never have to go through that. But that type of shit, bro, I can't fuck with that, bro. I can't fuck with that. I can't fuck with that at all. Not gonna lie, it's a good video topic. Write it down. Oh, nah, I got it. I got it here for sure. I got it here for sure. I'm gonna write that down. Me too. Think fuck no. Yeah, bro. I appreciate y'all for the idea, though. That's a good idea. Oh, God.
If La Quinta is the Mexican Trump's trying to deport, then fill the bucket with ice. Anyway, the reason I went to Austin was to see comedian Mark Normand. He was performing at the Paramount Theater, which was a short 10-minute walk away. I thought it'd be a great chance to take in the sights, but it turns out the sights were mostly tents, needles, and grown men arguing with pigeons. I spent most of the time playing the game homeless or dead. But once I got past the human suffering, I arrived at the historic Paramount Theater. Now, I don't know when this theater was built, but it was definitely before black people had rights. Every once in a while, you hear the faint whisper of, not your kind. And just like segregation, I felt like a second-class citizen as my seat was all the way at the top. So I headed up to the balcony and immediately got nervous because the angle of the seats was so steep. There weren't any guardrails either, so if you fell, it'd just be human water slide to the bottom. Worst part is you'd probably survive. I mean, fully disabled, but alive thanks to Gary and his girlfriend who definitely didn't want to be there. So I got to my seat, which was tighter than an Asian preteen, except the only one getting violated were my hips. You're not shoulder to shoulder with the people around you, you're interlocking, which honestly added to the whole communal comedy vibe. Made it feel like we're all connected, because we literally were. Anyway, the show was great, but exiting the theater was a nightmare. Huge traffic jam getting out, and we are one fire away from Trample City. All it takes is one person crawling over another for the real trauma to begin. But luckily, I made it out and walked back to my dirty La Quinta. Upon arriving, I noticed 3 police cars outside, and I'm just praying it's something small, like a suicide. There could be a full-on drug bust where they're bashing indoors. Gonna be hard to sleep through. FBI, open up! But sleep was out of the equation because the fire alarm had a low battery that would randomly... I know it's illegal to take the battery out, but it's also illegal to torture people. So I went to remove it, then paused thinking, wait, what if this triggers it for the entire building?
A lot of niggas gotta deal with that shit in their own crib, bro, so that's not something I'd want to deal with on vacation for sure.
Apartment was already there once. Maybe this is what somebody was doing. Screw it! Fast forward to the morning and I wake up feeling terrible. I don't know if it was the beeping or jet lag or girl under my bed crying, but I did not sleep well. However, I needed to get the hell out of this dumpster, so I packed myself up and headed downstairs where the dude at the front desk asks if I enjoyed my stay. My response was, beep. Then I headed outside and was about to order another Uber when I noticed someone driving a rickshaw. I thought slave labor was illegal, but apparently not in Austin, so I flagged him down.
Like, why? Like, at this point, when so many things go wrong, why do you... And this is just me, guys, but like, all right, let's say you go on a trip or like a bunch of things go wrong or things obviously aren't in your favor. I immediately have that thing in my head to where it's like, okay, maybe it's time to stop taking risks. So for you to have already gone through all... I don't even remember what he's here for. But like, nigga, you went through all this shit and you still out here taking risks, hopping on niggas' bikes, bro. I don't even trust these niggas in New York. You're in Austin, Texas. Crazy, yo. I thought the beep was in my house. See, yeah, a lot of niggas don't be changing their fire alarm, bro.
And asked if he could drive me to the airport. He says sure, and I hopped in his shopping cart. Now, I am not exaggerating when I say this is the most dangerous thing I have ever done. The top speed is only 15 miles an hour, yet he decides to go on the f***ing highway. We're just riding the shoulder like it's some sort of Mario Kart shortcut, and there's no seatbelt, so every time we hit a bump, I'm just launched closer to...
Everything you have done on this trip up until this point has gone wrong, and you still did this shit? No. Just no. No. Not gonna lie, one thing I hate traveling to other countries is they trying to finesse tourists like us. Yeah, that's a fact. Well, I haven't experienced that yet, but nah, yeah, that's definitely something you're gonna have to deal with. I need a friend in a country that saves me from fun. Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, it's better that you're in Egypt with family, because they gonna navigate you through that fucking bullshit, and they love to scam niggas in Egypt too. That's like the capital for shit like that, bro. They love black people too. They gonna sell that shit to you. Like, welcome home to the motherlands. Your ancestors were here. Welcome home. Welcome home. Knowing damn well they don't think that land is really yours. But guess what? For the sake of selling you a bracelet for $20, they'll do it. For sure. For the sake of selling you a hot ass head wrap for $50, for sure. They'll tell you that. They'll put history aside.
To Jesus! Worst part is he's only driving with one hand while vaping with the other. I'm gripping the seat for dear life as this guy's hotboxing the highway. But luckily we made it off the freeway and I could see the airport in the distance. I say to the guy, I didn't know they allowed rickshaws in the airport. He says, wait, they don't allow these? I said, I don't know. You're the one pedaling. Then he pulls over and now I gotta negotiate. I have at least a 25-minute walk with luggage. So I say to him, well, I've seen golf carts there before, so I'm sure it's fine. Spoiler alert, totally not fine. Because as soon as we pulled up in front of the gate, security stops him with the most, bro, what are you you doing, face? So I grabbed my luggage and dip, saying, good luck, buddy. Now, with all the side quests complete, I only had one mission left. The final boss of budget travel, Spirit Airlines. I thought the battle would begin in the air, but Spirit hit me with that pre-flight cutscene. A gate area.
This is just a terrible vacation, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it didn't even matter what he did. He could have had sex with Sabrina Carpenter on this trip. It wouldn't be that good.
Filled with glitchy characters, control smashing toddlers.
You know anyone in Japan to guide y'all, Sparky? No. But at least in Japan, I'm not gonna say there's no scammers, but there's definitely way less than somewhere like Egypt. And also, like, I've been studying Japanese culture since I was like a little ass kid, bro. Like, I'm kind of a weeb, so I already like feel me. I know how to maneuver out there to a degree. I know the basic phrases, and I'm going with someone that's somewhat fluent in the language, who's probably stalking the stream right now, but she never actually says anything. She just watches cold in the distance. So y'all go ahead and say what's up to her. But yeah.
And a level 1 mage casting.
Is Spirit that bad? Never went. Well, let me tell you my experience with Spirit. They charge you for Wi-Fi, which I'm used to flying Delta. And if not Delta, then JetBlue, and if not JetBlue, then American Airlines. So I never had to deal with that issue. But Delta's the best airline that I personally flew. Like, if it's something international, not international, but if it's something, you know, within the US, I'm going to try to fly Delta. They're the best in my opinion. Less issues, less bullshit, just less stress. Just everything is just better. And they give you Biscoff cookies, which I love. And the snacks are free Wi-Fi. Good leg room, it's just great. But Spirit, for one, the area that you stay in before you fly Spirit, at least in Orlando, was really ass. They had like some bootleg pizza shop and like barely some bullshit, bro. Like it was really bad. Really bad. It was dirty, all types of shit. Then my dad, we came back from a Christmas trip, right? So he did a lot of shopping, he bought a lot of things, right? They tried to tell this nigga we have to charge you for every single individual bag that you have. Mind you, he has like little Gucci bags or whatever. He's like, yo, bro, this shit could fit under the seat. They don't care about that. Delta, they would work with you. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you have multiple bags, but if it could fit under the seat, we don't give a fuck, bro. They said, no, it's protocol to charge you for every single bag that you have. Every single one. But the nigga, he was cool, so he didn't do that. So thank God that didn't happen. He just said, nigga, we just gonna have to charge one of you guys each for all these extra bags. I'm like, whatever, cool. My pops paid for that shit, nigga. It is what it is. But after that, right, I noticed something, right? And, you know, this probably isn't that crazy, but once again, I'm used to flying modern airlines that are good. So I'm noticing two things. For one, you can't see out of the window like that. I don't know what it is. It's like, you know, like if you ever been in like an old ass house, like the window just has like this foggy ass jail tint. Like I couldn't see out the window like that because the window had that shit. That might not be standard issue on every Spirit airline, but nigga, that's how it was for me. Then on top of that, I noticed that there weren't TVs or like, you know, the little screens on the back of the seats, you know, that'll give you some sort of entertainment. Cause like usually what I'll do, like I'm not a very complicated flyer. So you see how he just said you get free Wi-Fi at Sky Miles member on Delta. No, that's a fact. Exactly. I'm already knowing. But utilize that every time. But if y'all ain't no chat, y'all know. But Buzzy, basically what I do on flights is, for the most part, I raw dog the flights. Sometimes, like if I get really, really bored or like, you know, I'm restless, I'll put on a show or some shit. But for the most part, I'm kind of restless because I just want to get to my destination, right? That's just how it is. So I can raw dog a flight, bro. I literally put on the shit that tells me how far I am away from the destination. Let me tell my fucking story, nigga. We'll get back to the bid. But yeah, like I was saying, so what I'll usually do is I'll put on some music and I'll just stare at the shit that tells me like how far I am away from the destination. Like I could just, like, that's entertainment to me. That's what I do on flights for the most part. So I was sitting next to my mom and I was like, yo, there's no TVs on the back of these shits. What the fuck? So I told her, I was like, yeah, because my mom she was already iffy about flying Spirit because she's scared of planes. And on top of that, like, you feel me? My dad was like, "Oh yeah, we're flying Spirit to go back." She was like, like nigga, she had like a fucking panic moment at the damn restaurant, my nigga. She damn near choked on a fucking muscle. So she was already iffy about this shit. So I was like, "Hey mom, like, feel me? I know you feel a way about flying Spirit and all, and I know you're scared, but just relax, watch some TV." And then she looked at the back of the seat. She didn't even notice that there wasn't TVs on the back of them shit. She was like, "What the fuck? I thought, like, what the hell?" Like, she was dead ass panicking. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, and they charge you for Wi-Fi, and there's levels to the Wi-Fi. They have a Wi-Fi that makes it to where you could just scroll through social media and you won't have issues, and then there's Wi-Fi's for like downloading shit and like playing videos. Gotta pay more for that version. So Spirit, in my experience, that shit ass. Just really ass, in my opinion. But yeah, not gonna lie, if I'm on a plane, I be praying the person next to me doesn't stink. That's another aspect of it, bro. Because lately, the last few times I've been on planes, like, planes used to be cold every time. Now they're just like fake hot. And the way I dress to airports, bro, it's always a hoodie, some baggy ass sweats, and some slides, or maybe like some shoes, or like some, you know, comfortable shoes. So I really don't be trying to be hot. But every time I flew, it's been hot. So thankfully, I either sat next to my friend's family, or the nigga next to me didn't stink, or it was like a girl, so that was cool. But yeah, I've had a motherfucker who smell like ass before. Nah, yeah, bro. Be the niggas who stink and the fat niggas. That's worst nightmares. Worst nightmares. But let's finish out this video, bro.
Vape clouds. But I beat too many welfare dungeons to let some scrubs end my run, so I equipped my neck pillow, loaded into the cabin, and prepared for turbulence. Is that bitch painting her nails? Is that guy eating a turkey leg? Is that another bitch painting her nails? Who are you trying to impress? Your probation officer? Sorry to tell you, bitch, but nail polish.
Probation officer with her skin type and that hairstyle. This nigga's not being the allegations, unfortunately, bro. I can't even lie. Can't even laugh because I'm dead ass gonna cough, but fuck.
Won't hide the smell of generational failure. But my favorite passenger was a guy who had what doctors...
Is this nigga black, bro? He has to be black. There's no way. Hold on.
Squirrel Brain. He was playing one of those seizure games like Candy Crush. And you might think that'd be enough stimulus, but not for this guy. No, while still playing the game, he opens up his laptop and starts watching the most mind-numbing, sensory overloading brain rot known to man. Fast and Furious. I just wanted to shake him saying,
that's deadass a movie that just comes equipped on planes for some reason.
Unplug! But before I could finish my exorcism, we touched down in Miami, which meant I had officially survived the poverty gauntlet. Now, when I started this video, I had one goal in mind: farm the suffering of others for content. But somewhere between moldy cups and racist ghost, I felt something I wasn't expecting. Respect. Respect for the Uber girl who didn't let fear trap her at home. Respect for the rickshaw driver who risked a felony for a $20 fare. Respect for Gabriella for holding in a sneeze when I was trying to sleep. Because getting through that kind of chaos day after day isn't pathetic, it's impressive. I mean, these people are literally surviving conditions that would break most of us. Imagine being a rainy day away from, well, guess I'm not eating today. Who needs calories when you're the engine? See, poverty doesn't just drain your wallet, it drains your time, your dignity, and your ability to rest. There's no days off when struggle is your full-time job. So the next time you see someone barely holding it together, just remember, there's still a person. Unless they smell. Then they're an animal that needs to be put down. Shh, it'll all be over soon. One nose pick can get a lot of elbow room. Small sacrifice for a big reward. You know what you want to do? Oh, you want to push that subscribe.
No. We'll get a like though. W video. Little racial tension at certain points, but you know, you can ignore that if it's funny. Low-key, I lost my sense of smell. I've had a motherfucker as before next to me, sweating and stinking. I wanted to end it all. Thank God I haven't had that experience yet. But I could see how that would get bad. Low-key, I lost my sense of smell, unless it's super strong when I was 10. So how bad it is it to sit next to a musty person? It's hard to explain, you know, assuming that you deadass never, you know, like if you get it's hard to know that what to compare it to, bro. It just smells like a nigga whose armpits stink, but they kept working out. That's directly next to you, bro. And then like there's that smell where like you could tell a nigga hasn't had a shower in a few days, to where now it's elevated past just the sweat. Now it smells a little tangy, you know, like it has a little bit of twang to it, you know, like it gets a little sour. you know, that's when it gets pretty bad. Nah, yeah. Grilled onions was a perfect way to put it. Perfect way to put it. Mwah. But, you know, assuming that you can't smell, then I deadass don't know what else to tell it. I don't know what to tell you. Also, pray you don't have a child kicking the back. Nah, I can't lie, bro. There was a few times, bro. The niggas that be kicking the back of your seat, bro, like... And the type of thing is, like, the thing is, bro, like, I'm the type of nigga, bro, I'll deadass just... Like, nigga, I will turn around and just look at you until you stop, bro. Like, I will make the situation as uncomfortable as possible. Because there's no way you have no idea what you're doing right now. Like, it really... Like, some people were just raised with such a lack of self-awareness, and it's truly... sad, bro. Like, it really is sad. It is legitimately sad.